Hey, I'm John Cannell, and today on Preppy Kitchen, we're making a creamy, delicious strawberry cheesecake. So let's get started. First off, preheat that oven to 350 Fahrenheit. We're making our graham cracker crust for the cheesecake. I want 270 grams, that's like 2 sleeves of graham crackers. Now we're gonna crush them up. You could use a food processor if you want. If you crush your crackers by hand, you'll get some larger pieces that are extra crunchy. And just like that, with no mess at all, these graham crackers are all crushed up. Into a big bowl they go. To sweeten the deal, I'm adding 3 tablespoons of granulated sugar in here. If you wanted to, you could use brown sugar, but it clumps. I'm gonna give that a quick mix. And now I'm adding 5 tablespoons or 70 grams of unsalted butter, although you could totally use salted butter if you wanted. Use a spatula, not your fingers, and just bring it together. You should have something that clumps up when you squeeze it, but it's not gonna be super wet at all. So a lot of times when people are making graham cracker crusts, I think they're tempted to add more and more and more butter, but that kind of defeats the whole lightness and crunchiness of the crust and makes it heavy and soggy. Some into your hands. You can see how it's clumping. It's not like when you make pastry dough and it's like clumped in, but it'll press and take shape once you bake it. See that? This is holding together. Now you wanna grab a 9-inch springform pan. We're gonna dump this right in. If you've ever had a cheesecake stick, it can be a sad experience. So for extra insurance, just a little baking spray. Dump this in. Use a glass cup, and we wanna work it up the sides about 1 inch. Not all the way up. And really give a firm press so everything sticks. Once the side is started, go ahead and press the bottom down. Just giving this a final pass with my cup now. I want it to be really nice and tight before I pop it into the oven. Lachlan and George are gonna be so excited to see this cheesecake when they come home. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be piled high with strawberries and smell amazing. This is gonna go into the oven for 10 to 15 minutes at 350 or until it takes on a more golden hue and you have a fragrant smell coming from the oven. While that crust is in the oven, we're gonna start the filling, and I have to tell you, I love cheesecakes in general, but I'm not a fan of the really dense cheesecakes. For me, they should be like light, fluffy, just melt in your mouth amazingness. So that's what we're gonna do today. Into a bowl, I'm adding 3 8-ounce packages of cream cheese. This should be room temperature. If it's ice cold, it's gonna be too hard and it's not gonna mix well. One of your enemies in a cheesecake is lumps. And to get no lumps, you wanna have room temperature ingredients. They're softer. Normally I would do this recipe in a stand mixer with a paddle attachment, but today I'm using a big bowl in my hand mixer. Honestly, I think this helps you get a more homogeneous mixture. Almost any recipe you do that calls for a stand mixer can use a hand mixer. It's one of the most asked questions I get on the channel. First of all, I'm gonna cream this. I want this to really mix for about 3 minutes until it's all broken up and creamy and really gonna be accepting other ingredients. If you don't mix your cream cheese first, it's gonna have lumps. One other enemy for a cheesecake is air. You do not wanna beat a lot of air into the cheesecake because those bubbles will get bigger when they get hot and they'll crack the cake. Cracked cheesecake is really not a big deal, but I will say that if the cheesecake has too much air in it throughout, it'll change that creamy consistency a bit. It's time for some sugar. I want 1 1/4 cups or 250 grams. Scale is done for now. I'm just gonna scrape this to go down a bit. If you wanted to reduce the sugar in this, I'm sure you could just take off 50 grams, it'd be fine. This is not overly sweet though, at all. It's perfectly sweet in my humble opinion. Now we're gonna mix this once again on medium-low for about 2 minutes until it's fully incorporated. Notice I'm not saying light and fluffy because that would mean I beat a lot of air into my cheesecake. This recipe, by the way, is based off one that my mom would make for Sunday dinners with my grandparents. She would do this with strawberries and also with a blueberry topping. Oh my gosh, it is so good. So throughout this process, I'm totally just thinking about my mom and how she would make things. We're gonna be adding in 3 eggs in a minute, but I wanna give them a quick whisk first, just so they're all mixed up, no lumps of egg white. Now I want 1/2 cup or 120 grams of sour cream. One of my pet peeves is scraping sour cream or yogurt out of a measuring cup, so scale is so easy now, isn't it? So the sour cream adds a little bit of tang, it kind of mellows the flavor out and lifts the cheesecake up because of its lighter consistency, it's less dense. Now we're gonna lift it up even more with some lemon zest. Want about 2 teaspoons. If you don't have a rasp, you need to buy one. It's so good for microplaning cheese, lemon zest, orange zest, and even a nutmeg. I measure out 2 teaspoons as an entire lemon. In case you're wondering, it's the Greek in me. My mother-in-law calls these naked lemons, and now I can never unhear that. So I'm sharing it with you. I'm also adding in 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. This is my homemade stuff. It's so good. You can make your own at home, and it's really easy. Click up here for that video. Scale is now done for real. We're just gonna mix this up one more time until everything is nice and distributed. So this cheesecake has like a classic fluffy cheesecake base with the most incredible and easy strawberry topping ever. I know a lot of you like to have that pink cheesecake, so this is how you do it. Once you get to this step, you're gonna add in 1/4 to 1/3 of a cup of strained strawberry jam. To strain it, like literally just warm it up and then pass it through a sieve to get all the chunks out. Mix it in, it's that easy. And if it's not pink enough, you could add in a drop or like a tiny half drop of pink or red food coloring. You'll be so happy. It'll be a delicious pink cheesecake. I actually love the contrast of the white with the red, so I'm leaving it just like this today. It's almost there. It looks silky amazing. I could and have eaten this just by the spoonful, but the 3 eggs are gonna help it set together and also lighten it up even more. I think I forgot 1/4 teaspoon of salt, so just go ahead and sprinkle that in. Now we're gonna add the eggs in. Just mix this on medium-low once again until it's incorporated. And you're definitely gonna wanna scrape the bowl down because this is your final moment to get a homogeneous mixture. This gets people so many times. You're gonna scrape the bowl down, but you're gonna scrape it down with your spatula that has clumps of cream cheese all over it. So you're introducing these lumps of cream cheese that are gonna go into your smooth batter. Let's give it a quick wipe. That looks good, and I'm so happy I'm not seeing lots of air bubbles in here. Finish mixing that up, and that's great. No lumps. I'm not gonna taste it because of the eggs, but this is ready to pour into our cooled graham cracker crust. You can give your cheesecake mixture a couple taps on the counter. Now we're gonna pour this into our coolish graham cracker crust. Look at that. Give your cheesecake just a little shimmy. And now it's gonna go into the oven 350 for 15 minutes. Then we're gonna reduce to 300 and bake for about an hour. You want a little bit of a jiggle in the middle and the edge should have risen up a bit. Instead of baking this cheesecake in a water bath, I'm just adding a ramekin full of water halfway through the bake, and it'll help give me a really nice top. My cake is almost set, so I'm gonna make my strawberry topping for it. And this is so easy and delicious. You're gonna love this topping. We have 2 pounds of fresh strawberries. I gave them a quick wash, and now I'm gonna hull them and slice them in half. You should have 2 groups of strawberries, the beauties and the others. The beauties are gonna be saved for later. The other ones are gonna get cooked and mashed a little bit. And by the way, like you could make your cheesecake up to 2 days in advance and just keep it in the fridge. It'll be totally fine. Make your strawberry topping the day of, and everyone's gonna be oohing and eyeing over it like nobody's business. When I was recipe testing this, I kept thinking, but there could be more strawberries. So we ended up with 2 pounds, but if you wanna have even more, have at it. You'll just be serving some on the side with each piece, because there's only so much you can mound on top of the cake. My strawberries are basically hulled, so we're gonna divide these into the 2 batches of the beauties and the not so nice ones. I like to have the smaller strawberries reserved because those look nicer on top of your cheesecake, and the giant ones can get cooked. Half the strawberries into a large pan. I'm adding in 100 mils of water that's just a little bit under 1/4 of a cup. It's like 6 tablespoons. 1/4 cup of granulated sugar. I'm gonna sprinkle in a teaspoon of cornstarch now. Stir that in, and this will thicken things up really nicely. This is gonna go over medium heat. Yes, you're gonna be stirring. We're gonna boil these for about 5 minutes, just making sure to stir frequently. We wanna move everything around. The heat's gonna break down your strawberries pretty quickly. They'll release all their strawberry juices. It's gonna be delicious. One thing to note though is if you bought these at the market and it's not the absolute peak of strawberry season, chances are they might be a little bit pale on the inside. I actually have strawberry plants in my garden, but they only are throwing off like a handful of strawberries right now. These are gonna turn kind of like a saddish, grayish color. If you do care, just a couple drops of red food coloring, like 3 tiny drops of like the grocery store kind, will color the juice and actually dye the strawberries on the inside a little bit. It'll just make it look like strawberries. Otherwise, they'll look pale and people will be like, oh, what happened? Just wanted to let you know that and not do it behind the scenes and trick you. If you really don't want to use food coloring, I understand. Towards the end, I think you could add in some beet powder to get that red color, or you could mix in some raspberry juice too, which actually does retain its color. My strawberries are softening up really nicely now, so I'm gonna grab a potato masher and give them just a little bit of a mash to break them up. I want more of a strawberry puree. You see how these are mashing really quickly? The strawberries are just the right consistency. I'm gonna continue cooking for about 10 minutes until the sauce is nice and thickened. It'll also help reduce some of the liquid off as well. Make sure you stir frequently because the edges will burn and that'll give you a not great taste. My sauce is thickened up beautifully. You can see it'll hold a streak and it just has a really luscious consistency. I'm gonna pour this over my strawberries and just the residual heat in here will kind of cook the strawberries and just soften them up a tiny bit. Give this a stir. Now that it's off heat, I'm gonna add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla, mix that in. We're gonna set this aside just for a little bit until it's lukewarm. In the meantime, we're gonna grab a cake plate and unmount our cheesecake. As you can see, I got a pretty good bake out of this cheesecake. That ramekin really helps. I'm gonna run a knife along the edge. A lot of people ask why I don't use water baths more for cheesecakes. Finding extra wide foil is not impossible, but it's a trek. I don't see it at the market anymore, so I just didn't want to have people go on a search to make something happen that's not gonna work out. And if you can't get the oversized foil, it's not gonna work. Your cheesecake is gonna be totally soaked with water. Ah, beautiful. Just run a knife along the bottom. It comes off right away. All I'm gonna do now is top this with the luscious strawberries. Once your strawberry topping's on, one last step is just to arrange the strawberries so they really pop out and they're not covered up by the strawberry puree. This will give you optimum aesthetics. That looks great. All that's left is to cut in and enjoy. This is gonna be one of your new favorite cheesecakes, I promise you. That cheesecake is so light and creamy. It's basically a cheesecake cloud topped with a crown of strawberries. I hope you get a chance to make this recipe, and if you like this video, check out my cheesecake playlist.